All I have for you is a word. Tenet. It'll open the right doors, some of the wrong ones too. Use it carefully.
Welcome to Screen Recaps, and today we are going to recapping the movie Tenet. At a Ukrainian opera house, a concert is abruptly interrupted when masked gunmen storm the stage, smashing instruments and shooting at the crowd. As chaos unfolds, Ukrainian special forces and CIA agents, including John, rush in. Their mission: rescue an American VIP and retrieve a special package. Disguised in fake uniforms, John's team blends in with the special forces and pumps sleeping gas into the main hall. John locates the VIP in one of the booths, takes out 2 guards, and gives the man a password to confirm his identity. With shooters closing in, John and the VIP escape through a window using a rope. The VIP blends into the sleeping crowd while John returns to his team, noticing a Ukrainian agent planting a bomb. John instructs one agent to guard the VIP while he retrieves the package, a metallic box hidden at the coat station. Reunited with the team in the maintenance room, the VIP mentions a secret tunnel. They swap clothes with him as a disguise, and most of the team guides him to safety through the tunnel. John and another disguised teammate return to defuse the bombs, but a Ukrainian soldier suddenly points a gun at John. To his shock, the bullet fired seems to reverse midair, killing the soldier and re-entering the gun, manipulated by a mysterious man who quickly disappears. John, shaken, retrieves the bombs, throws them into the upper seats, and narrowly escapes with his teammate as the opera house erupts in explosions. John and his teammate are captured in a van, and his friend gets shot in the leg after being identified as an imposter. They are taken to a train yard where John is tortured. When a Ukrainian soldier finds his hidden poison capsule, John uses his friends to sedate himself. He later wakes on a ship where a high-ranking CIA agent reveals the capsule only contained a sedative, testing John's loyalty. Given the code word Tenet, John sneaks off the ship, steals a car, and meets Laura at a lab. She shows him how inverted objects, with reversed entropy, move backward through time. After practicing with an inverted gun, Laura explains that items are from the future and suggests a coming war. To find out who's dealing the weapons, John travels to Mumbai, where he teams up with British operative Neil. John and Neil plan to infiltrate the home of an arms dealer by jumping from a neighboring building using bungee cords. After neutralizing the guards, they confront the dealer, but it's his wife, Priya, who reveals that a Russian oligarch named Andrei is behind the inverted ammo and can communicate with the future. The police arrive, forcing John and Neil to escape using the same cords. In London, a British intelligence agent tells John that the key to getting close to Andrei is through his wife, Kat, who authenticated a forged Goya painting. Andrei found out and has been blackmailing her ever since. John meets Kat, offering to retrieve the forged painting if she arranges a meeting with Andrei. After a tense dinner, Andrei's thugs kidnap Kat, and John fights off more thugs in a kitchen brawl. Kat later tells John that the drawing is stored in a secure freeport in Oslo, where Andrei's business is conducted in secret. Neil arrives at the freeport posing as a businessman and discovers that during a fire, the vault's doors revert to factory settings, making them easier to unlock. However, the room's oxygen is sucked out due to the gas fire suppression system. John and Neil plan to crash a plane into the freeport to trigger the lockdown. Pilot Mahir and his team put workers to sleep and prepare the crash. As the plane hits the building, gold bricks are dropped to distract security. Inside the vault, Neil and John hold their breath while picking locks to reach Andrei's private vault. There, they encounter a strange room with bullet holes and 2 doors, blue and red. T-like men inverting through time appear. Neil chases one, discovering something shocking under his helmet. Meanwhile, John fights an inverted soldier who calls bullets back into his gun. After a tough fight, John gains the upper hand but is stopped by Neil, who prevents him from shooting the attacker. John tries to get information from the inverted man, but he slips away as a second explosion rocks the scene. Paramedics arrive, and John and Neil pretend to be unconscious. The next day, Priya explains that the turnstile is an inversion machine sent from the future, and Andrei orchestrated the opera house attack to steal plutonium. The plutonium is now with Ukrainian forces, but Priya urges John to wait and gather more intel before targeting Andrei. John meets Kat, tells her the blackmail drawing is gone, and she arranges a meeting with Andrei. At a dinner party, Andrei suspects John of having an affair with Kat, but agrees to a private meeting after John mentions the opera. The next morning, Andrei reveals his men retrieved the drawing, still controlling Kat. While sailing, Kat tries to drown Andrei, but John saves him for the mission. On Andrei's yacht, John gains his trust by discussing plutonium. Andre shares that he found gold and instructions with his name while scavenging warheads, which helped him rise to power. Later, as Andre gets violent with Kat, she warns him that harming her would force John to intervene, and Andre holds back. A helicopter lands on the yacht, bringing a heavy package that John sneaks to observe. Inside, he discovers inverted gold bars, but one is missing, prompting Andre to kill an employee in rage. John is captured and brought to Andre, who gives him gold but warns him not to contact him until he has the plutonium. On the day of the plan, Andre brings Kat to a warehouse where he intimidates her. Meanwhile, John and Neil follow the truck carrying the plutonium, surrounded by security vehicles. Disguised as a fireman, John climbs the aerial ladder and creates a hole in the truck's roof. He retrieves the plutonium case and escapes back into Neil's car. As they drive away, they hear reverse speech on the radio. Realizing Andre plans to take the plutonium from them, an inverted car chases them, revealing Kat as Andre's hostage. To save her, John throws the plutonium case to Andre, who leaps into Kat's car just before it crashes. Though Andre escapes, his thugs begin shooting at them. While Neil shoots back, John and Kat are kidnapped and taken to a warehouse with a glass wall. John watches as Andre threatens Kat, demanding to know the plutonium's location. After Andre reverse shoots Kat, John confesses it's in Neil's car glove box. Another version of Andre appears, attacking John just as soldiers burst in. This prompts a temporal loop, repeating events in reverse. Once Andre vanishes, Neil explains that the soldiers work for Priya and Tenet, and reveals Andre used a temporal pincer movement to outsmart them. John decides to take Kat through the turnstile to reverse her injury. They return to the past, where John plans to save her from being shot, advised to wear a SWAT uniform to avoid encountering his other self. He must now adapt to the inverted world's strange dynamics. John drives the silver car to the shootout scene, where he finds the empty case and hides a microphone inside. He watches as it jumps back to Andre when he drives by, overhearing Andre's men reveal they checked the glove box, confirming John's lie. As John gets closer, he sees his other self receive the case, and the plutonium box flies back into it. Andre, realizing what's happening, tries to crash into John and ignites leaking gas, causing a huge explosion that knocks John out. He wakes up in a truck with Neil and Kat, learning the inversion nullified the explosion's effects, leaving him with hypothermia. John interrogates Neil, who reveals Andre's plan to create an algorithm to invert the world. At the Oslo Freeport, they cover Kat with uniforms and sneak inside. When John searches for an entrance, the engine explodes, pushing him through a door where he encounters his other self. In reverse, John tries to escape without causing damage. They reach the turnstile room, where John jumps in to invert himself back to normal. Afterward, he runs into past Neil, who recognizes him and lets him go. John opens a door for Neil and Kat, then steals a van. Neil avoids his other self and successfully inverts back to normal with Kat. They escape, allowing Kat to recover. John visits Priya and learns that the box he stole contained the algorithm, which is divided into 9 pieces to prevent misuse in the future. Andre has all the pieces, and Priya's plan was for John to steal the box and lead Andre to reveal the algorithm's location. John agrees to help. On Priya's ship, they discuss the need to keep Andre alive, as his death would activate the algorithm, which would lead to global destruction. Kat reveals Andre is terminally ill and likely plans to self-destruct. John convinces Kat to distract Andre while the team retrieves the algorithm. They train in Priya's inversion machine and prepare for their mission in the Soviet city where Andre grew up. The plan involves a temporal pincer movement with Neil and Wheeler on the blue team and John and Ives on the red team. As Kat sneaks onto Andre's yacht to keep him occupied, both teams engage Andre's army in the abandoned city. They perceive each other as moving backwards, but stay coordinated through their watches, leading to heavy casualties and chaotic, inverted explosions affecting the environment. When the watches sink, Wheeler's team sets off a large explosion to distract, while Ives and John infiltrate the underground base. Outside, Neil sees an enemy exiting the tunnel in reverse and boarding a helicopter after detonating an explosive. Concerned, he separates from his team and finds Andre's inversion machine. He inverts himself to warn the others, but discovers the tunnel is sealed. Inside the base, Ives and John encounter a closed gate and a dead blue soldier, whom John recognizes by a red string on his backpack. The soldier reanimates in reverse, only to be shot while trying to warn John. His body opens the gate, allowing John to engage Andre's soldier in a fight, ultimately pushing him off the platform. On the yacht, Kat shoots Andre and jumps overboard, where Mahir rescues her. Meanwhile, John and Ives retrieve the algorithm just before the bomb explodes. They split it into 3 pieces to hide. Afterward, John realizes Neil has been aiding him and learns he recruited Neil in the future. Neil must return to the timeline where he dies. Later, John confronts Priya in London, killing her before she can harm Kat. He then watches as Kat finally enjoys a peaceful moment with her son.
I thought I was